Hey guys. My master has been in this world of magic since 1995 and has seen a lot of cards that didn't seem useful at first glance, but that were a real bomb when used properly. More than that, many cards have incredible potentials that have not yet been explored, especially with synergies that could be interesting with the release of future editions. First of all, there is a difference between value and price. Value can be what the card delivers to you in terms of efficiency. This can be seen in very strong effects that completely shift the wind in your favor in a match. The price is quite relative. It can fluctuate according to the hype of new editions, types of decks that are currently played, etc. Another thing that sets high price is scarcity, like old cards that are no longer reprinted and have a restricted amount of access. Then you can already see that not always in life value and price go together. As we are always looking for new options to invest and, of course, to play as well, we are now going to release here some cards that are real gems, and are cheap today. Fires of Invention. I was amazed when I saw the price of this card for her effect. In my view, Fires of Invention is a very strong card, especially in red where you have few ramp options. You can cast spells only during your turn and you can cast no more than 2 spells each turn. You may cast spells with mana value less than or equal to the number of lands you control without paying their mana costs. Fires of Invention completely changes the game dynamic, and this can be used to heavily speed up the game to your advantage in fast land decks, or even in a big red of creatures or enchantments. You practically double your ability to cast insane stuff in one turn. A real bomb. In the Search of Greatness. This little green card here is another one that brings a very high value for its cost. For 2 green mana you gain an extremely broken ability. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may cast a permanent spell from your hand with mana value equal to 1 plus the highest mana value among other permanents you control without paying its mana cost. If you don't, SCRY1. Casting stuff for free is pretty strong, especially permanents. Green decks usually buy a lot of cards used correctly, and SCRY still helps the effect happen in the best possible way. For me, it's a must-have on many decks. Soul Snare. 1 mana, enchantment, looks pretty innocent at first glance. But make no mistake, Soul Snare is a hell of a deterrent to attacks on a multiplayer table or even alone. Pay a white mana, sacrifice Soul Snare, exile target creature that's attacking you or a planeswalker you control. That's simple. Opponents will think twice before attacking you and having a creature exilate for a single mana. It also counts as an enchantment in aura decks and can help to further strengthen your draws and creatures strategy. Slaughter. Keep an eye out for cards that recur through unusual means. Slaughter is one of them. Buy back, pay for life. Destroy target non-black creature. It can't be regenerated. It might be a little expensive for 4 mana, but it's instant speed and still has a pretty broken buyback for 4 life. In multiplayer where you start with 40 health, this cost is even more advantageous. If you put Slaughter in a lifelink deck, which isn't hard on black, that card gets even more powerful. Consider Misdirection. There is nothing more interesting for the player than playing a card at no cost on the table. There are several famous cards like Force of Will and Force of Negation that do this, but do you know Misdirection? You may exile a blue card from your hand rather than pay the spell's mana cost. Change the target of target spell with a single target. I honestly don't know how it still is so cheap. This card can be a bomb because instead of countering a spell you can use it against your opponents for a very friendly cost. Don't miss this one on your deck. Sunstone. It is quite common today to run decks with snow lands. In my time when I was still playing Ice Age, snow lands were even a little exotic to see on a deck in a friendly game. Sunstone gives you a very strong advantage for a colorless card, that is, It works on any color. Pay 2, sacrifice no land, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. It's a fog for the cost of sacrificing a land, and that's absolutely incredible. Of course, you will not abuse this effect to run out of resources, but for a moment of emergency it is very strong. Also, your opponents will think before wasting an attack on you, which can be an excellent political weapon. That's it, folks. I'm Archmage Lewis, Magical Assistant, and comment below if you use any of these in your decks. See you in the next one.